Welcome to the Steve Reeve Podcast with the best moments from the past week and a few things that didn't make it to air. Monday.
Turkey is for turkeys. Move over, Butterball. It's time for the holiday meatball. So often, food-related stunts in the U.S., things that are limited time available in different fast food joints, U.S. residents only. Usually that's the case. But in this case, we have to drool from afar for a limited time tasty in the UK. IKEA is giving away gigantic turkey-sized meatballs for Christmas. 120 of them online, and as well, they're going to do one per real-life IKEA location as long as you find the giant meatballs somewhere inside the store. The idea is, of course, to promote their very normal-sized meatballs as a cost-effective dish at the holiday feast. And for the giant variety, they say it serves up to 25 people? How big is this thing? And how easy do you think it would be to make your own? Exactly. Brenda Lee of Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree fame, she released that song when she was 13, originally written by a man named Johnny Marks, who has passed away. She did say when she found out that song went to number one for the first time ever, 65 years after its original release, that he must have been proud. He would have been proud. Now she, to celebrate the big accolade in the journey that actually kind of eclipses All I Want for Christmas from You from Mariah Carey. That was released in 1994 and had its most popular year in 2019. Yeah, this is a 65-year gap versus a 25-year gap. Brenda Lee performed Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree on Christmas at the Opry on NBC just this last week. Damon Albarn of Blur and Gorillaz fame, he spoke on the use of AI to complete the Beatles' last song Now and Then, and the specific use of AI to separate tracks, not to generate any new information or new music, new vocals, anything like that. He says, there could be hundreds of songs released after my death. A good opportunity for everyone. Very interesting. And big news for Taylor Swift, though we don't hear her much on this station. She has now become the first ever person to hit $1 billion on a single tour, the highest grossing tour of all time.
Tuesday.
Has Mark Rober, the YouTuber, put out the final glitter bomb video for 6 years now. And the holidays, he has been putting out this video. It's been pure joy to watch as he thwarts package thieves. The entire inspiration was himself being the victim of packages being taken right off of the front step. And even with the footage of the stoop, even with the footage showing the front sidewalk and the two walking away with the package that was delivered to his front door, nothing was done. Nothing could be done. Authorities did not really intervene, and this happens all the time. People are the victim of this all the time. So that's the impetus. That's how it started. And he decided to hit them with glitter and fart spray, and has over the years completely redesigned the distribution system for that so that it's at its maximum potency. But things got a little bit different for this year. Instead of focusing on the package thieves and the like, he actually focused in on car thieves in the San Francisco area, where he himself has also become a victim of it. But I question whether it's the final one. Now, he did put together a great mashup of some of the best moments over the last 6 years, so I'm not knocking that. Definitely was enjoyable to watch. And also, they've accomplished quite a bit. I mean, just in his own sizzle reel.
So that's it. My official final wrap on the whole series. And if you've been keeping score at home, we've had 167 porch pirates glitter bomb themselves, as well as 29 car thieves. We've returned $50,000 to elderly scam victims, and had 5 scam call centers shut down, with 53 of those scammers arrested.
Not bad. As good a year as any. However, I am adding YouTubers who say they're going to stop doing very, very popular things to the list of those I don't trust when they say they're going to stop. And that includes sports stars retiring and rock stars retiring. They'll be back, even if it's in hologram form. Let's do it right. Let's do it right. Depressing holiday gift ideas. That's right. And for today, I present to you depressing holiday gift idea number 4. Temporary joy candles. Is the pressure of the holidays and the looming realization that you didn't accomplish all you wanted to this year getting you down? Try a temporary joy candle. Cover up the stank of disappointment and transform your space into something marginally more enjoyable to exist in for about 4 hours at a time. Any longer than that is not recommended by the manufacturers. Then it's back to reality. These scientifically formulated scents are sure to add a thin veil to the turmoil with aromas like almost success, momentary elation, and brief contentment. Give the gift of temporary sensory enjoyment and distraction this year. Give a temporary joy candle. It's like being happy, but with a wick.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruise FM.
Been just a minute since the documentary came out, but still, if you haven't watched, and I haven't myself either, I'm hearing very good things about Stop Making Sense, which was a telling of the story of the Talking Heads. And David Byrne of the band says that as he watched it, he felt kind of removed. Seeing himself, the documentary footage, the actual things that happened in real life. But he said it's almost as if I'm watching a character. This was a question and answer that happened back in September at the Toronto International Film Festival. That's now become something that's up for consumption, as Stop Making Sense has actually been released so that we can all check it out directly from A24, though you'll have to do some digging as to where you can find it. The Offspring in the news because they are going to be putting together a big 30th anniversary concert. Their breakout album Smash is becoming 3 decades old. Next year, specifically. And they jumped onto social media just yesterday to say to everybody at the Honda Center, they're doing all of the Smash hits plus more June 1st. 30th anniversary celebration. Tickets are going to be going on sale December 14th for anyone lucky enough to snag one. Well, very special treat joining me here in the studio to talk about a very important reason for giving this holiday season. Florence with the Salvation Army, the Christmas Kettle Campaign Coordinator for 2023. How are you doing today?
Yes, good morning. Excited to be here. And of course, we're talking about our Christmas Kettle Campaign.
It's that time of year. It is. I mean, you've seen the kettles at all around town. I'm sure you've heard the bells. Now, how far along into the campaign are we? Midway-ish, yeah?
Well, we're quite far into our campaign. Okay. We have approximately 2 weeks left.
Okay.
So our campaign ends on December the 23rd.
And so all the more reason for people to give. And, it's been, of course, everyone has been talking about it. Everyone knows it's been a bit of a tough year, but it's a very important time of year to give if you are able. And if you are able, you can find a way to give at the kettles that are around town. And we know that there's a really important day to do that coming up as well. Walmart Match Day. Tell us about that.
Yes, of course. December the 16th is our Walmart Match Day. So Walmart will match whatever's in the kettle for that day. So it's a big day. We desperately need your help. And let's make that day count.
Count for double with the matching going on from Walmart. That would be fantastic to see a big showing there throughout the rest of the campaign into 23rd of December. We're so close to 2024. In what way do these dollars that people are donating, how does it help going into the new year?
Oh, these dollars, of course, just not help on Christmas.
Yeah.
These dollars help all throughout the year, our Family Services Department. And, of course, our Family Services Department is all about those in our community. All dollars stay in our community.
Yes.
Those dollars are used to help families in need, whether it be with food, rent, security deposits, even Pampers, diapers for children, formula.
Yeah.
Food, anything that we can help with, we will certainly try and do our best to provide.
That's what your drop in the kettle can be making happen. That's the difference that it can make to drop some dollars into that kettle this year. And again, repeating that on the 16th of December, Walmart Match Day is happening. So if you don't make the donations there at Walmart, it's going to be doubled. Thank you so much for telling us all about it, Florence. And I wish the best for the rest of the campaign for this year.
Thank you very much.
Wednesday.
This is straight out of Jurassic Park. This is straight Ian Malcolm. Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to consider whether or not they should. It's a new alcohol it's not going to be widely available or anything like that. You don't go looking for it on any shelves in town or anything like that. But a company called Empirical, who makes kind of unconventional spirits, They're going to be releasing a Doritos nacho cheese inspired drink, I guess, a cocktail mix of choice. 42% alcohol. Smells and tastes like Doritos. $65 a bottle, but only really being sold in 2 states, apparently, New York and California. That's going to be it. Pre-orders, though. Pre-orders could be made, I think. I don't know if they're going to be shipping to Canada. I didn't look into it because I'm never going to taste this. It sounds gross to me. I mean, sure, you want to try something weird? Yeah, fine, but too much money for that weirdness to me. It's one of those concoctions I think the world just never asked for and never even needed. But that's my take, and I guarantee somebody listening or somebody reading an article about it somewhere on the internet is going, that sounds delicious, and no cheese dust on my fingers? Sign me up. Last week, we were talking about how a study came out that shows people have a really hard time figuring out whether things on the internet are real or not. Duh. Well, we need a study to say that, right? But it's interesting to find some of the statistics. I have hope that it's going to become easier, or that we'll have better standards for knowing what the real-world legitimacy of what we're seeing online is. But it's likely, very likely, going to get more confusing before it gets more clear. And AI is really nothing new. AI assistants in your phones, AI speakers playing your favorite radio station, give it a try. AI bad guys in your video games, AI in your heavy hauler trucks, it's truly everywhere.
I heard you were talking about me.
Oh, hey, heavy hauler truck, autopilot. Hey, I was just talking about how AI it's already everywhere.
Advice from a truck, stay in your lane.
Oh, come on. Okay, we're just having some fun, all right? We're just talking about life working in the oil patch.
Dude, you've never worked a day on site in your life.
That's what I've been saying for years. I'm not Steve from Site. I'm the other Steve.
Great. Now get my name out of your damn mouth.
Yeesh. Must have just finished night shift. Also, why is it British?
Hey Alexa, play the Steve Reeve podcast.
Black Sabbath frontman Ozzy Osbourne in the news once again, and thankfully not about his health this time. He was just having a conversation with Spin Magazine, did a new interview where he talked about how he doesn't really feel comfortable, never has, with being labeled as metal. He says that that's a title that's been put on him. He says because Ozzy Osbourne plays heavy, but the bands that are considered metal really are really heavy, and yet he feels like he's put in the same category, saying getting pigeonholed in a certain genre can make it harder to do something different, like a lighter or an acoustic track. It was all just rock music when he started, and in his words, it's still all just rock music. Speaking of rock music, Bruce Springsteen amongst the candidates, the nominees for Best Original Song at the Golden Globes for next year. Yeah, Road to Freedom, Lenny Kravitz, What Was I Made For, Billie Eilish, I'm Just Ken, Mark Ronson, performed by Ryan Gosling, Dance the Night by Dua Lipa, and then Addicted to Romance, Bruce Springsteen, alongside the winner, unfortunately, I'm just predicting it now, Peaches by Jack Black from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Thursday.
A study has found, you love the new studies and what they find, that having 2 kids makes you live longer. Oh, that's nice, right? That's a good thing. However, study finds that having 3 kids will kill you. Okay, no, hang on. Wait. Back it up. Roll the tape back. Not really. It's more like the study finds. That's what some headlines are saying. What really the study was saying is that having 2 kids does make you live longer. Like by the numbers, like 5 to 10% longer. Life expectancy into the 70s. But 1 kid or 3 or more kids just seem to have diminishing returns on that life extension expectancy business. So make sure you do what benefits you the most, using this research from the University of Michigan, which, as I understand it, is what having kids is all about, right? Pure, selfish exploits. That's why we do it. Oreo's making a big announcement. They're going to put out a few new flavors. Now, 2 of these new flavors, they're going to be added to the lineup kind of semi-permanently. There's Oreo Cakesters with peanut butter. There's also a gluten-free option for the Golden Oreos. Boring, get out of the way. What we're looking at is the new limited edition cookie. Inspired by the staple at New York City bakeries for decades and decades. The black and white cookie, which I've never had. I mean, maybe not like an authentic one. I've definitely had something that swirls some chocolate and some vanilla together in many different forms. Cookie, ice cream, whatever. But I've never had like an actual from New York City bakery black and white cookie. And despite the effect that particular sample had on Jerry Seinfeld way back in the day, I still always thought that cookie looked just so good. So good for you, but also so good for the world, maybe?
See, the key to eating a black and white cookie, Elaine, is you want to get some black and some white in each bite. Nothing mixes better than vanilla and chocolate. And yet still somehow racial harmony eludes us. If people would only look to the cookie, all our problems would be solved.
David Grohl, I don't know why I had the ID, David Grohl, was supposed to be the drummer on yet another album. I mean, he's been a session drummer, session musician on so many different things, not just the Foo Fighters, not just Nirvana, look it up if you haven't known, but he was going to be drumming on the new debut album for Boy Genius called The Record. There was a full collaboration planned, and he told an interview with NME that he slept through the session straight up. I mean, he's getting up there in age. Sometimes you need a nap. Hopefully they don't hold it against him and there's an opportunity for them to work together in the future. Good news, despite the bad news, Patti Smith, punk rocker of New York and world fame, she was in Italy doing a tour when she suddenly came down with illness and had to be hospitalized, but she's in very good health now. Before she could perform a concert on Tuesday of this week, she was rushed to hospital, now doing much, much better a couple days later. And while I would love to be able to play you a clip from the moment that happened during a performance by Garbage, the front woman's Shirley Manson decided to break up a fight in the crowd with all kinds of swear words used. That's why we can't play any of that for you. But it was at K-Rock's Almost Acoustic Christmas down in LA. They were performing alongside a whole host of other very talented people throughout the night, but there was a moment where she had to stop things down, and yeah, she added some F words in there, but basically the message was, it's Christmas! What are you doing?
Friday.
Don't stop believing unless what you want to believe in is the chance to get a Lifesavers storybook, or I guess as they've been called in recent years, fun book, in the stocking or under the tree for the holidays this year. At least not in Canada. They've been discontinued. Though they are still available in the United States, and that means still available kind of online. In fact, you can get a pack of 2 of them for $49. Now, here's the thing. 2 of them means as much as you used to get when they first were announced. Now there are 6 rolls of Lifesavers in a fun book. Doesn't sound so fun when you know that way back in the day, there were 12. There were 12, and I remember the 12 days, maybe even the 10 days, but they've been shrinkflationing for years, and now from 6 to nothing. $49 for a pack of 2 of these. That equals a pack of what they used to sell originally for, in 1941, what does that say on that calendar? Or on that catalog, rather? 49 cents. 49 cents. Art is subjective. It's in the eye or ears of the beholder. But science has now claimed that they have created the worst song in the history of any song. I'm a little skeptical. We'll see. But it was a trio of scientists that came together to decide what exactly makes a song unwanted, unlistenable, and not just sound. They decided, no, they're making a song. They're not just going to have pots and pans being smashed around. They wanted to actually make a song. So it actually has a beat. It's a little bit catchy. And yet, there's something about it that makes it the most unwanted song in history. Play a little clip for you. So my bad. I'm so sorry. That is just what I think the worst song in the world is. That's some Creed. No, this is actually the worst song in the world from Komal Melamed and Dave Soldier. Let me know what you think. I'm pretty sure this is just like a kid jamming on a Casio tone. I don't know if this is what 3 scientists have actually put their heads together to create, but I will admit, yeah, no, I don't want to listen to this at all.
Thanks for listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruise FM.
I am not by myself here in the studio this morning. This is so fun. We get to hang out with a student, Maya. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Say hi to Fort McMurray.
Hi, Fort McMurray.
Exactly how I feel in the morning sometimes. My tongue is just against me. I trip over it all the time. But you are a student in town at one of the schools, one of the high schools, going out there to forge your own path in the world soon, and you wanted to get into, broadcasting, or you're interested in it, right?
Yeah, actually, that's why I'm here. I'm here to shadow you. I really want to get into the broadcasting kind of thing, so... Yeah, I'm from Father Mercury. It's a great school. You should go, too.
We're going to be dealing with Father Mercury a little bit later on today because there's Santa's Anonymous deliveries that are going to be happening that we're going to be helping out with. And you've been helping out with that, too, of course, at the school.
Yeah, actually, so you should come. We need all the help we can get.
Oh, yeah. We'll put some effort into it. We'll deliver some of these toys and make sure that kids have access to play at Christmas. Is Christmas a big time of year for you? Is it a big celebration?
Not for me, but definitely for my mom. She has 2 Christmas trees up already.
I love it. 2 Christmas trees. Like one inside, one outside? How's that work?
One in the library, one in the basement.
Nice. Christmas everywhere. And then for you, you're like, okay, we're done with it. We're tired of it. Well, stick with me here, Maya, because we're going to be hanging out for a little bit this morning. And thank you for coming to Shadow. I'll show you all the scary things about broadcasting and radio and all the fun stuff, too. Don't worry. Michael Jackson had some items from an auction scrubbed from the internet because they were originally being sold not as a copyrighted material. Some tapes of songs including Lost in Love, New Jelly, Rescue Me and Like You, big 2-inch master tapes at the auction house Gotta Have Rock and Roll showed up and listed as artifacts only. But unfortunately, people behind the copyrights, the Michael Jackson estate and those who own the rights to those songs have said absolutely not. They probably want a cut of whatever these are being sold at for auction. So they've disappeared for now. Expect them to show up later, probably for a higher price. And Bob Marley's got a brand new track out, a never-before-released song from 1968 called Selassie is the Chapel, has just been released over 40 years after his death, and you can find that online. This is all about an individual, Haile Selassie, an emperor of Ethiopia and a sacred figure in the Rastafarian movement. He was able to visit and meet with her in 1966 and inspired the song. Very interesting. If you want to listen to it, of course, you can find it with a couple searches. We have finally gotten them. They are here. The names, the finals for the Name That Plow campaign that's been happening over the last month plus. So Maya here still shadowing me, hanging out with me in the studio. What we did is we got a bunch of people to give us the nominations for snowplows, for literal snow removal equipment right here on the streets in Fort McMurray that don't have names yet. It went down to finalists, and then everybody voted on it. And now we're going to announce the winners. Finally.
Okay.
Finally, yeah. Just to bring you up to speed. So here's, we were picking 6. Here are the top ones. McFlurry, Cleopatra.
Oh, okay.
Polar Patroller, Sleetwood Mac. That one might be a little bit after your time. Flurry Murray, and Scoop Doggy Dog were the ones that won for the 6.
I like Flurry Murray.
Flurry Murray? I like that. I like Polar Patroller, too. I want to see that, rolling by.
Yeah.
We need a convoy of all these 6. Here's the cool thing, though, is that there was actually an honorary 7th vehicle that was added as well that's going to display Cree and Dene names. And now, forgive me if I have my pronunciation not quite up to snuff here, but for these 2 names, the Cree name that's going to be going on the 7th piece is Kona Opiya Konio. And that is snow plow. And then snow removal in Dene, Yath Dithi Beschene. And again, apologies about any pronunciation. You'll be able to see it written as well with the pronunciation on these snow clearing pieces of equipment and everything. Very, very cool. And a big thank you to the pronunciation guides that were given to me. Elder Rita Martin from the Mikisew Cree First Nation, as well as Elder Patrice Mercury from the Athabasca Chippewa First Nation. So thank you so much for supplying that for me. And keep your eyes out, because these are going to be out on our streets this winter with these names on it. If you happen to spot them, make sure you take those photos and send them in. You going to keep your eyes out?
Yeah, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna try.
Transmission over. Want more Steve? New podcast episodes happen every Friday, or just tune into the Steve Reeve Show. Weekday mornings starting at 5:30 a.m. on 100.5 Cruise FM.